Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the line, his name is Dennis Frank. He was there as well the night Ozzy bit the head off a bat. Dennis, how you doing today?
Good.
Hey, what's your dog's name?
Coda.
Coda, we want to wish Coda a speedy recovery. Had some surgery today, correct?
Yeah.
All right, well, we hope the best for Coda. Dennis, let's go back to January 20th, 1982. About how old were you back then?
I would have been 16.
Well, everybody was like 16 or 17 when this show happened.
Yeah. It was a cold show. I remember that.
I've heard that as well, that it was a very cold night in January. Do you remember, was there openers that night or anything like that?
Yeah. I think it was Star Rider or something like that. I can't really remember.
All right. Okay, Dennis, you've got an interesting relationship with this whole bat situation. What is that situation, or what's that relationship, I should say?
Well, I was with some friends that knew Mark, and I was friends with Neal. He had the bat. It had been dead for like a week, and had it in a baggie, and it stunk so bad that we literally made him throw it to get it away from us. So that's how the bat ended up on stage.
So you're as close to this whole rock legend as anybody on the planet.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Well,
I didn't think it was that big of a deal at the time, but...
I mean, okay, looking back on it all these years later, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever think that, this is one of those stories that goes on and on and on and becomes, kind of a monster unto itself, but, did you ever think that you'd be in this position, that you would have been that close to history?
I guess it just kind of sucked that a month later Randy Rhoads died. So
yeah, no, there is that whole situation. But going back to it, so Mark Neal, the dude that threw the bat on stage, you knew him. He's a friend of yours, right?
Yeah.
Still a friend or acquaintance?
I see him every now and then. He works out of town, or he's been living in Missouri, but sometimes he's up here working at the building. So
all right,
he does construction work, so I see him every now and then.
I hear he's a good dude. He declined coming on the show, which I completely understand. When you're asked the same questions a million times, I listen, I get it. He had the bat in a baggie, and it stunk, and it was like a week old.
Yeah. It was horrible.
At what point did he go, you know what, I'm going to baggie this bat and take it to this show?
I don't know what possessed him to do that.
So,
I remember we was clear up front by Randy Rhoads and stunk horrible, and we're like, man, get rid of that thing.
At any point did you go, oh, holy S, he threw it on stage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so go back to that moment when he throws it on stage. Like, did Ozzy go, right over to it and grab it? How did this whole thing happen?
Yeah, he ran over and picked it up, and I think he thought it was fake, and I seen it in his mouth, and he was holding the wings open, but I don't really remember seeing the head getting bit off, but I don't know. I was 16, and I was probably under the influence, so.
So some things happening is what you're saying.
Yeah.
There you go. Dennis Frank joining me on the line right now. He was there when Ozzy bit the head off a bat, or maybe bit the head off a bat, or what happened. But you were telling me off air some kind of interesting stuff about after the show.
Yeah, I knew a bartender that worked at Crystal Tree, and apparently the band went there after the show and was having drinks and stuff, and that's when he got sick, and they evidently took him to Broadlawns to get his tetanus shot. So.
And now I've heard a couple versions of it where they went to Mercy, but they didn't have rabies shots, and then he went to Broadlawns.
Yeah.
So okay. You were telling me about the tattoo, the dragon tattoo on what would be his left pec. That was done in Des Moines?
Well, that's the story I heard. Is Tattoo Ted apparently did that tattoo when he was here that day for the concert.
Now, who was Tattoo Ted?
Well, he was... I don't know if he still does tattoos, but he was famous back in the 80s anyhow, over by the fairgrounds.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's cool. Do you remember the name of the shop at all?
I think it was called Tattoo Ted's.
Oh, really? Well, maybe someone listening to this will know, but Dennis Frank joining me on the line right now. Where was Crystal Tree?
That's over on Fleur Drive down by the airport.
Okay, so what I heard from a different person was the next day is when it became a big story, because it was in the paper and stuff. What was it like for you guys when the next day when all this comes up? Were you like, oh my God, we were there, or?
Well, the rumor was that he had first was going to dump like 200 gallons of pig blood on everyone, but they wouldn't let him do it because of lawsuits. So apparently he had bigger plans to, it was going to be like Carrie, and they were going to drop blood on everyone, but they made him not do it. So that didn't happen.
Oh, wait a minute. He wanted to do that at Des Moines?
Yeah.
Ha! I've never heard that part of the story.
Yeah, he was going to drop pig blood on the crowd.
Oh, that's crazy. I heard the set was a big castle, and it was Diary of a Madman, right?
Yeah, you can see on YouTube there's footage of him back in that same era, which would have been right around the same time. The footage I seen was before our concert, and he didn't have that tattoo.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow, that's just, well, you never think about the going out afterwards, the tattoo stuff, I that's part of the story I've never heard before.
It probably had to do with when he bit the head off the dove. So that's probably how he got the idea with the bat. I don't know. He probably didn't realize he was going to bite it, but he brought the bat to the state or to the concert. So
hey, real quick, going back to what he actually bit it. I know you kind of said you don't know if he bit it all the way off or whatever, but was there a moment on his face where it's like, what did I just do? Or
yeah,
what
you
was
could
his
tell.
reaction?
You could tell. It's like, oh God, this is real. I think he thought it was a fake bat.
Oh, God. Just imagine what would go through your head in that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, really think about like, oh, God, I just bit the head off a sonar-guided rodent.
Yeah.
But, you think about maybe how many drugs he was on. It probably wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, and I guess they tried finding the head of that bat after the concert, but I don't think it was ever found.
Oh, it's probably in his belly. Dennis Frank on the line with me right now. Dennis, I thank you so much for coming on. We've been kind of going back and forth on Facebook and stuff, and that's cool. So, boy, let me ask you this. Do you still have the ticket stub?
Yes, I do.
Did you get it framed or anything? Has anybody ever offered you money for it?
Well, I've got a whole collection of tickets. I was going to just glue them all on a poster board and kind of have a conversation piece.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've got the tickets. I've got a bunch of tickets from back then.
I'll tell you this much. Keep it off the floor of your basement because if you're like me, you can lose a lot of memorabilia like that when it floods.
Yeah.
Which that's happened. So, anyways.
Yeah, they're in a photo album, so.
Perfect. Awesome. Dennis, I appreciate it, man. I really do, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, see you, Dennis, and good luck with the dog, okay?
All right, thanks.
Yep, bye.
Thanks for listening to this 95 KGGO podcast. Make sure to check out kggo.com for more.